Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm doing a tutorial on this look. Very fall vibe-ish, and with that being said, let's get this video started. So using Rush from the Ring Alarm palette by Jackeline and Morphe, I'm using that as a kind of transition color. Usually I always say to start off with the very lightest color. And this one kind of seems a little bit darker than usual, but since the rest of my eyeshadow colors are going to be darker, it was okay for me. And I'm just using a Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush and then blending it out with my Morphe 441 brush. Next, I grabbed Mugshot from the same palette, and I'm using that just a little bit lower from that transition color, and I just used another Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush and blended it out again with the Morphe 441 brush. Using Sparks from the Bling Boss palette, I'm focusing this color mostly on the outer corner of the eye and bringing it forward to the front of the eye. I continued on with Frame, that is also in the same palette, and I just used that a little bit lower from Mugshot. So like I always say that every time I'm going to apply another color, I'm just going to be going lower from the previous one. Having some concealer and an angled brush, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and the Peach Cosmetics, I think it's the 107 brush. And I'm using that to start cutting my crease, and I'm only going to go halfway through. So I brought you guys in a little bit closer just so you guys can see what exactly I was doing. So please excuse my imperfections. The shadow Ballsy from the Bling Boss palette, I'm using that to place on top of the concealer that I just put on, and I'm using my finger because I wanted to have a metallic finish, and by using my finger, I guess it heats up the shadow, and that's how it gives it a metallic finish. Yeah. And as you did see, I was using a small brush just to place more eyeshadow onto where it needed to be. Now using Sparks from the Bling Boss palette, I used that for my outer corner, and I just used a regular eyeshadow brush just to place it on there and then started blending it out. Using Framed, once again, I grabbed a small precision brush and I used that just to blend the two colors out, and as you can see, I used a very light stroke and was able to blend this out very nice and seamlessly. To prime my face, I'm using the Smashbox Prime Water, and it's very hydrating. I really like this product. And for foundation, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I am the shade 120, and I'm using the Morphe G6 brush with it. I really do like this brush. It doesn't leave my foundation on my face strokey like some other brushes would. I kind of stopped using my beauty blender just because this brush did the job, and I really loved how it did it. This foundation is medium covered, so you can build it up to where you want it to, and it is typically used for normal to oily skin. And of course, it never fails on a makeup tutorial that I get some sort of product on my shirt. Also like using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I'm using the shade 20 Sand. I do believe I can go a shade lower just to highlight my T-zone area a bit more. And for the contouring part, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation stick, and I'm not sure what shade this is, but I did go a few shades up, and that's why it looks darker. I applied this on the cheekbones, the forehead, 2 lines on the nose, a line underneath the lip just to give an illusion of a bigger, plumpier lip, and below my chin. And using my Morphe G6 brush once again just to blend out those creamy products. For bronzer, I like using the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer, and this is in the shade Bronzer. And I'm just going to apply that wherever I use that darker cream product. The brush I use to blend out the bronzer is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. It's very fluffy and very big. I do really like it a lot to specifically blend out this bronzer. To bake the face, set the face, whatever you want to call it, I use the Laura Mercier setting powder in translucent. And of course, Fabian always has to show his big head onto my videos. Continuing on with blush, I use the Laura Geller one, and I use the Luxie 514 blush brush with it. Using a small precision brush, I use the shadow frame to place on the lower lash line, and I used a bit of sparks to place on the outer lower lash line. And now I just started removing some of that powder with the Morphe M536 brush, and it's a pointed blending brush. I did notice that I started looking a little bit patchy and dried, so I started spraying some more Smashbox Prime water and rehydrating my face. For highlighter, I did use the Amarizzi by Anastasia highlighter. It's my fave highlighter. I haven't stopped using it since I bought it, and it's just very perfect and very poppin'. And I just placed it wherever I would normally place it, which is my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, the point of my nose, my temples, and above my cupid's bow. And a bit on the inner tear ducts and a little bit on the collarbone. Setting spray, I use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and it's very hydrating and it smells super good. For the lips, I used a color from the Anastasia lip kit. I'm not sure what color it was because they don't specify the names on it, but I just topped it off with a Ofra liquid matte lipstick in the color Verona. And to sharpen up my lips, I did use an angled brush and some concealer to clean up any mistakes I made with the lipstick. For lashes, I use these Bombshell Cosmetica ones in the style Honeymoon. They're very fluffy and pretty. So guys, that concludes this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it, and I'm sorry if this seemed very rushed, but subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment down below any videos you'd want me to do. And thank you guys for watching.
Boom.